So as I get into this, because staging this stuff for all of these operations, just like that one that we just talked about right there, you have to realize that we do have this technology. It's not alien technology. This is our shit. And if you don't believe it, I mean, you got to check this out. So this is what they call a Loon Copter. This thing was put out at least 7 years ago.
Yeah, this is old. This is
old.
Old, yeah.
That was the whole point. This is old, man. This is not new shit that just came about and these drones can fly out of the ocean. They can fly out of the ocean a long freaking time ago. And we made them.
They started swimming.
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Your breath, it's the Loon Copter.
The Loon Copter is amazing. A vehicle that can travel through the air, on the surface of the water, and then travel underwater?
Yeah.
Come on.
We traveled to the University of Oakland to meet project leader Dr. Osama Rawashda and ask why he's building drones that can fly to the pool and take a dip.
We did this mostly for fun because we wanted to, but people have been contacting us with all kinds of different ideas, from search and rescue, inspection of pipelines, oil spills, getting a bird's eye view and then diving deep. And to do that, a drone would make a lot of sense because it can fly, it uses GPS to pinpoint the location and then can dive at that spot. It sounds like the possibilities are endless. The body or
That's
the hull of this
interesting.
vehicle
Possibilities
is
are
actually
endless.
acrylic sugar jar, extra cheap,
Really?
not glass, so we can actually drill through it.
Thrifty. Still,
What the
the
hell
Loon
they could do
Copter
with
caught the
those?
attention of the judges at the annual Drones for Good
They
competition
make them
in
bigger,
Dubai.
like
And,
a
we ended up
size of
winning
an
this
SUV,
competition,
and
first
have it
place
do
in
all
the
this
national
also?
category, which came with a nice trophy and a cool $1 million check.
Nice.
$1 million.
So,
huh?
how have these guys made a drone that can fly and swim?
When the Loon Copter hits the surface of the water, it's buoyant. It's not going to sink. So it has a tank and a pump. It fills itself up, and then it begins to sink.
Small opening here, so water goes in and out of this section here.
It fills one side of this tank quicker than it does the other. That means the Loon Copter falls under the water onto its side, which means the rotors now become its propellers.
So, what's the difference between high flying and deep diving?
When the drone is in the air, it needs to spin the propellers incredibly fast, 10,000 times a minute.
This is close to
Air
a
down,
decade
that
ago.
provides lift to keep it up. Water
You don't think
is
we've
far
improved
more
upon their
dense.
design?
The propellers only have to spin
Made 'em
180
larger.
times a minute to move enough water to propel it forward.
Once the Loon Copter wants to resurface,
It pumps water out.
It floats to the surface, it self-rights itself, then it can spin the propellers.
and then it takes off into the air like a normal drone.
Oh my god, like a drone coming right out of the ocean.
Yeah.
This is a decade ago almost.
I guess my question is, if we had this technology a decade ago, why isn't more of the ocean explored?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I mean, I know it's vast, but
and with our submarines, yes, our submarines can only dive so deep, but at the same time, like, don't you think that there would be mapping going on?
Yeah.
Some sort of something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's see what the hell's going on, and let's get some more research out there. How about our $50 billion instead of sending it to Africa
right.
for God knows what? Yeah, they need help. Well, is it our job?
Well,
I
I
don't
know,
know.
but don't we need help as well? We got
Right.
homeless and homeless veterans in their streets. You know, we've got shit everywhere. We got crime everywhere. We've got, hurricane victims that aren't being helped. I mean, we've got our own people that need help. We have a border that we need to secure because we can't have people just willy-nilly coming across the border with who knows how many diseases, how many child traffickers, how many drugs, how many whatever,
And you see him just
be great.
discard and ruin. It's another thing like this, what we were joking about. It's like, what else can they saddle Trump with as he comes into office? Okay, you got aliens you got to deal with. You got to fight off the aliens. And
There are 4 wars going on around the world.
Right, and they're destroying sections of the wall and destroying the supplies.
Well, they're selling off
supplies.
the steel girders or whatever for
Yeah.
the wall that we were supposed to build. that all that shit was sitting there ready to be built, and then Trump didn't get reelected, and so Biden stopped all that shit, opened everything with the wide border. Now he's selling off all of that shit we just paid all of that money for. How much are they selling it for, by the way? This is a small tangent. Get back to where we need to go in a second. But, you know, we spent X amount of dollars on all these steel beams to put in the ground to build our wall on the southern border.
Yeah.
Are we selling them for pennies on the dollar? And then when we're ready to have Trump come back in, which he will, which he says he's going to, as long as everything goes, okay.
Now he's got to spend more money.
Right.
For higher priced materials.
Right.
And then they're going to shitbag him for it.
But we're the ones that are getting shitbagged. Our tax dollars are being spent again over and over for something we already paid for. And now we're going to get fucked on this again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we need to build the wall. Don't get me wrong. It needs to happen. But why are we selling this shit off right now? These are supplies that are ready to go. It's not like they're going to go bad like fruit and vegetables.
Right. And it's not like we're like, I mean, yes, some of our citizens are, don't get me wrong. And God bless you guys and God help you. But it's not like our country is starving for this money, right? That we're selling these off for.
Yeah, apparently we don't need to worry about it. We just print more.
Well, like if you're gonna sell off this shit, why don't you take all those proceeds and give it to the goddamn hurricane victims?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Why? But why would you want to do that?
Well, what else are you gonna do with the money?
I know.
Give it to fucking Africa.
Dude,
Good Christ Almighty,
man! It's
I want to see. I would like to see what that payback contract looks like.
Oh yeah, I would love to know.
Give you 100 years to pay that back off.
Yeah.
Well, you're good for it. You're good for it. Just give us this. Give us your oil. Give us your nutrients. Give us everything you pull out of the ground for the next 100 years, and then pay us back at like 0.5% interest.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. So here's the latest, not latest technology. I don't know what when this was made, but you saw the underwater drone flying in and out of the water there. Now you're going to check this out. This is what it does now compared to what it used to do. Now check this out. Oops. That is the wrong one.
Wow, what kind of videos are you watching, guy? She looks like sheep.
There we go.
In the water.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. It's the drone. Boom. Okay, it didn't have to take a second to get the propellers going to get out of the water now. It does it like almost instantaneously. Look at this shit. Boom, and it's up. What was that? A second and a half for that to do it? So you don't think we still have that technology to get drones in and out of the water even faster and bigger and better and more powerful than a locomotive? You know what I mean? So it's nuts. So
yeah, what do those systems look like? That was my question. Like, what do those systems look like? They're obviously they're unmanned, but like their fuel systems, their battery systems. How is that? How are those contained to where they can dive into the water and not fail? Right.
Oh yeah.
Because that's kind of next level shit. And this is technology that's obviously 10 years old, maybe even 15 years old when they first started developing it. And so you look at that thing and you don't think by now with the $820.3 billion defense budget, you don't think not a dime of that went into this?
Well, okay, understand something as well. That 820 plus whatever billion defense budget does not count the unlimited off the books. Who knows how much budget it is for the black budget project that DARPA and other companies and other agencies are doing to develop other stuff. That doesn't count that. And you don't even know that DARPA budget could be 10 times that for all we know.
And that doesn't account for what we spend buying those kind of technologies from other countries.
Right. Exactly.
Germany, Russia.
Remember when
China.
Donald Rumsfeld, right before 9/11, said, "Oh, we can't account for $1.2 trillion of our budget," or whatever the fuck it was, or something like that.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. How do you misplace $1.2 trillion? And then it's, oh well, I don't know what happened.
We don't know. Let's just forget about it.
I have no
We'll
idea.
figure it out. We'll get back to you. On
Don't
that.
ask me. We're going to war because of Osama bin Laden.
But look, there's a
Oh.
plane.
Oh wait, a plane. Yeah,
A
distraction.
plane.
Yeah. Here's a gentleman from a show, a podcaster called Dark Waters. He's actually got some really cool shit that he does. And he's talking about this as the first shoe drops on the hoax. He's talking about a hoax. He's not fooled. I'm not fooled. We're not fooled. This is kind of interesting. Let's check this out because I think he's got some good information here. This is 12 minutes. I'm not going to play anywhere near that, but we're going to go talk a little bit about the stuff he's going to do here.
In this video, that concerned me, and I'm just going to do a quick deep dive with you guys here. All right, so see this truck on the screen, right? When we were going through the process early in videos researching the drones that came out of Florida, I'll pull up the website. Every last one of those drones had a central command center that was similar to this. It was a trailer.
Yeah,
that was a
somewhere
command center that needed to be.
Yeah, you have to have
launched.
Yeah, and
control.
have the computers.
I'm
and
sitting here
all
watching
that.
this video, and I'm like, hold on. The sheriff is at the ocean, sitting in a trailer.
Yeah,
saying it just doesn't make sense because why? Let me just play the video. I'm just going to play the video. And here's the mindset I want you to put yourself. Put yourself in the most skeptical mindset possible.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
We all
The
do
most
that.
skeptical mindset possible. This is a local sheriff for Ocean County. Let me play the video. Then we're going to
see local law enforcement. Where have I heard that before?
All right.
come back. We're going to go through it. Let's just watch. And then I want you to watch his face too.
One of their officers called 911 after seeing.
So this is Ocean County Sheriff's Department, all right?
This is the premium Garmin duffel 45 liter by half day. It's a transforming 2-in-1 travel duffel bag for long weekends.
And now, let me help you put yourself in another mind state. Remember, this is television, right? And so television is presenting you a program. All right. Imagine we're filming a movie. All right. And we're the directors. Does this prop make any fucking sense right here in the context of searching, in the context of this quote unquote invasion? Is the first question we ask ourselves. I'm not saying it does or it doesn't, but we're going to be, this is the thought process. Does this make any damn sense? Ocean County Sheriff, right? So this is a local sheriff. It's a
None
county
of this
sheriff.
shit
Now
makes
let's go through.
One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Okay, so now we're inside a trailer.
We already showed you it's
with
possible.
the Ocean
Easily.
County Sheriff, who has some form of technology that he's showing the news that is tracking what looks like
all these drones.
Drones. Now listen to what the man says at the start of the video. Understand, for any story, any narrative to be effective, you have to institute people who are in authority in the public's eye. So everything has to build layers of credibility. So
exactly,
if you wanted to try and build the first layer of credibility for any kind of story, it would need to be law enforcement,
government,
sheriffs,
media,
police officers, all these things, right?
That's what people think.
Now, not to
That's
say
the
that the
problem.
police officer
Your
didn't
government
see
keeps
anything,
lying to you.
but if you want to build the credibility of an argument,
source.
It's kind of like when we were talking about cryptids, when I was in the cryptids field, and I set up my criteria for whose stories I would grade as an A++ story. If you call me and say you saw Bigfoot, and I say, hey man, what do you do for a living? You say I'm a Bigfoot researcher, you go to the bottom of the pile. Everybody else puts you at the top of the pile. I put you at the bottom of the pile because you benefit from seeing this. Now you get a name from seeing it, so I put you at the bottom pile. Now, if you call me and you say you're a police chief in a small city and you want to talk to me about seeing something strange in the woods, but you don't want everybody to know about it, but you're looking for answers, then I put you at the top of the pile. Because there's a certain level of vetting that goes into being a police officer. Okay, so the point I'm making is, from that perspective, if we're looking at it like someone's putting on a performance, because clearly that's what this is, they built the baseline of credibility by saying it's local sheriffs, local police.
I'm going to jump ahead here.
We made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean. 50?
So now, that officer told him, Sheriff Michael Manstradi, that from Ocean County Sheriff's Office, that 50 of them came off the water.
5-0. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
Now, I would have to watch more video footage of this man to see how his natural body language is. But, and I would like a body language expert to look at it, but something's not right here. And I don't know if it's just some men have the way their frown lines are set, it stands out. But everybody who talks about this, it seems like they're hiding a fucking smirk to me. I'm sorry. It just seems like everybody who I see that on the news talking about, it's like they're hiding a smile.
With that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean. 50? 5-0. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer.
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
They just
the Ocean County Sheriff, that drone unit, they have an industrial grade drone. They put it up. They were tracking one of these drones, Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, to me, it's if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need answers.
Damn. We'll go on.
Yeah,
he
move
brings
on.
up a lot of good points.
He does bring up a lot of good points, and I guess that just goes back to the conversation about, are they like the local law enforcement and how just right there, they're making them look like a bunch of bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's fair.
No.
Especially because of something, like you said, like it's a test.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they're using us as pawns. And they're trying to figure out our reactions, right. And
how would we respond, and what can they get away with and say and do?
Yeah, and they're just kind of making everybody look like idiots, and I don't like this, and I don't like. And this is something that the U.S. has done for a long time that I've really never got behind, and I really will never get behind. Because I don't think it's fair, and I use this analogy with a buddy the other day, and then I talked to you about it yesterday. Was a person is smart, logical, and reactive in a calculated way, right? A person,
singular, yeah, by himself.
People in a group, more than a couple. They are very sheepish. They are very sheep-like. They follow the crowd. They run to safety.
Yeah.
What is the safety that they're providing? They haven't even set up a safety fall for us.
Right. They don't even know what's going on and don't even know what they're scared of, but they're scared of something.
They're scared of something.
They're scared of something.
Scared of the sky? They're scared of the sun? Like what are we? Yeah. Give us
get you.
But we're not gonna give you a safety blanket yet.
Right.
And I think it's the scary thing is to me is I think that this just keeps going on. What's gonna happen is that mass hysteria is going to start to kick in, and everybody's anxiety issues and ADHD issues and that they're not getting the correct medication for, that shit's going to start to rise and rise and rise and rise and rise, and these people are going to start burning down the damn cities. Like they're gonna go crazy.